Hello, this is Sheena.
And this is Jen.
And welcome to Going Within. Okay, recording in progress. Good. All right. So, hey, everyone out there in the internet world. Welcome back to Going Within with Sheena and Jen. And we have a very special guest with us today. And I'm going to let Jen introduce her to us. So excited. Go ahead, Jen.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is Monica. She's a spiritual business coach. And I've been talking with Monica now for, I want to say almost 2 years. And yeah, it's been 2
Been a
years
little
now.
while.
Yeah. And so we just really want to get to know you. We want to get to know all, your techniques and maybe just give us some good freebie advice on business. So so yeah, why don't you go ahead and just kind of tell us how you got started, how long you've been in doing your business, and just share with us.
Yeah.
Taking notes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, as Jen said, I am a spiritual business coach, and I'm also an oracle card reader and distance Reiki healer. And I use a lot of different modalities like EFT tapping and NLP and hypnosis and a lot of different things into my business. And I think that's what really helps me make a bigger impact on my clients and also the people who just are able to access any free resources that I offer. As far as me being in business, I've been in business for about 4 years now. I did it at first just kind of like really part-time. And then last year I went full-time in my business, which is really exciting. But I have been in the business marketing and coaching space for probably about 10 years. Of course, it's changed completely from how it was back when I first got started. I mean, like 180. But I enjoy it. It's something that's really fun and it's something that I'm good at. And I love helping other people succeed in their businesses because why do something that you're not passionate about, that you don't love, and that you're not able to make a difference in the world, you know? I mean, I want everybody to be able to have a life that they're loving and they're able to contribute to others.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's awesome. So, you said you've been doing, it's been 10 years. You've been doing what for 10 years exactly? Is it your spiritual, holistic healing, or is it like
So the business marketing and coaching. So I started off more in more of a corporate setting with marketing and business and coaching, and then I transitioned into doing just spiritual. I had always really liked the spiritual side. I was always kind of a little woo woo, but I grew up in an area where that wasn't really accepted. So even though like my close friends knew, a lot of other people didn't know that I was kind of that way. And then all of a sudden, a few years ago, it just blossomed, and now woo woo is mainstream, and so it's okay to do that, and more people around me are more accepting of all of that as well. So it does make it a little easier.
Right. True, true. I heard, who was it? It was Dolores. I don't know if you're familiar with Dolores Cannon. She was a hypnotherapist, but she specialized in past life regression. And she said the same thing because she was doing hypnotherapy with past life regression back in the 70s and the 80s, and people were just like, oh my gosh, what is this? This is witchery, this is sorcery, and they didn't understand her work because she would, tap into the subconscious mind of her clients. And people just couldn't understand, you know, what she was doing. But now, in this age, in today's, you know, this time, a lot of people are more into the spiritual aspect of things, and people are more into crystals and saging and cleansing your space and feng shui. And you know, when back in the days, those was like, you know, witchery things, you know. So it's just interesting
Right,
that
exactly.
yeah, it's very interesting that you said that, because she said the same thing. And I mean, a lot of people who've been doing it for a long time can relate, because this is really, really new, you know. It's, man, like I would say like 2012, it really started booming, you know. But yeah,
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
I think so.
Yeah. So, Jen, do you have any
Yes.
questions so far?
So, with your business, how did you start integrating the spiritual aspect of your business and with the technology? Because you're really good with technology. Like you are spot.
Oh,
Whenever
thank
I have
you.
a question about like how do I send out mass emails, or I mean she knows her
Yes.
software. If she doesn't know it, she's gonna find it
Uh-huh.
and she'll send me a link. Like she's so amazing.
All
Um,
right.
but I'm just curious. So how do you um bring the spiritual part in with your technology? And I got a part B to this. And have you noticed that when you are in and working and on a roll, you know, with your computer or, you know, on your phone or whatever, that sometimes things like block you from achieving something better than what you're doing? Does that question make sense?
So, yes, yes, it
Okay.
definitely makes sense.
Okay.
So let me answer part A first, and then I'll go to part B. So, what I do, and I especially do this with any courses that I'm in, any courses that I offer, because I do offer business courses and workshops and things of that nature. So
Okay.
what I do is I may talk about the technical side and like hear the facts, but then I'll go and I'll say, okay, well, this is how you can implement it in your spiritual business, or you know, this is an example of how you can use this in this kind of spiritual business, or this one, or this one, or this one. And so that way they can see, okay, this is the basic steps, this is the how you do it, boom, boom, boom. And then it's like, okay, well, now we can go with the flow and figure out how we can incorporate that into our business and how it works, you know, with us. And I'm really big about alignment. So I'm like, this is how I do it. This is how, you know, I've been taught. But at the same time, it's your life, it's your business. You got to do what feels aligned. And if you don't like it, don't do it. You know, so that's really a lot of how I incorporate that. And I don't always do it in that order. Sometimes I'm like, okay, let's go flowy first, and then let's go into the more technical side. And just as kind of an example, so in my course, Nail Down Your Niche in Messaging, one of the things that I do is I talk about specific marketing strategies, like on Facebook. And so I'll say something like, okay, well, it's a good idea to, you know, maybe put, you know, a picture of your beautiful face as your profile photo, and you know, put your links in your bio and give a short description and have a post pinned that's related to your business, that's public, you know, which are all good things. If you guys aren't doing it, you totally should. But then I
Like on
say, okay,
Pinterest?
well, here's some.
Were you talking about Pinterest? Sorry.
Oh, Facebook.
Oh,
Facebook.
Facebook. Oh, okay. I heard pins. I immediately
Yeah.
went to Pinterest.
Oh, yes. So you can pin a post on the top of your
Oh,
profile in
okay. Okay,
Facebook.
okay, okay. Yeah, that's true. I
Yeah.
do see that now.
So if
That
you
must
have
be a new
something that
upgrade.
it's within probably the last year and a half, maybe.
Oh, okay. Wow.
But it allows you to, like, if you have an email list that you want people to be on, or a challenge, or, a group or something that you're actually selling, all of that,
Right.
you can put one post up there. And then if you're no longer doing that sale, or you're no longer, you've booked out, hopefully, fingers crossed, right? You've booked out
Yeah.
and you don't need any more clients for that, then you can unpin it and pin something else, so it's really cool. So I would explain that you can have these different things, but then I could actually give examples. So I would maybe say, if you're having a meditation retreat and you want anybody who comes to your profile to see that and potentially sign up, then you can put that as your pinned post, or I could say, if you are a tarot card reader, you may want to, have your photos, maybe your background photo or your profile photo, have that as, something that is a little bit more woo woo, or maybe even has cards, or, has your offer or something like that as the cover photo. And that kind of gives you an example of how I incorporate the more technical stuff with the spiritual side. And as far as your part B, yes, definitely. There are times when I do become blocked when I am working on things. And for me, the biggest way I can tell that I'm starting to get blocked is I get very agitated at everything. Like, my husband could just walk in the room and I could be like, "What do you want?" you know? I'm Do you guys know where have y'all done that?
Yeah.
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 Oh yeah.
Well, just before I got on here, I had like everything all ready to go. Like I'm making Italian beef for tomorrow, so I already got it going in the crock pot tonight.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Oh.
I told the kids they're on the video. I'm like, okay, listen, I'm gonna be in the Zoom. I really need it to be quiet. And I had my laptop ready, my phone ready, the link was ready, like everything was ready. And then I go and I sit down, and my phone falls off my chair onto the ground. So then I gotta bend over to get it. And now I got a leg cramp behind my knee. And I'm like,
Oh
why is it? This always happens, Monica. And it's like every time I try to do good, right? Um, something blows. It's really weird. So now I just go, no, not today, you negative energy. Get out.
Right.
Because
Mm-hmm.
this chick is
Good.
gonna
That
do what
that was what
she
I was
needs
going to
to
suggest. I was
do.
going to say, reframe it.
Yeah.
Reframe it.
Oh,
Definitely.
Yeah,
I
that's
do
right.
now. I'm like, listen here, you little a-hole. You are out, and I'm not gonna hurt, and it's just gonna happen. I don't care about one eye working. We're going.
Right. Oh
So,
yeah.
but I do
There you
want,
go.
so being in the business coach world, you do hear the word aligned a lot. So,
Yes.
for somebody who's just starting out, can you just kind of describe what that is, if it's a feeling, or if it's just, if it doesn't feel right, or if it feels good, or can you just kind of elaborate a little bit on what you mean by alignment?
Yeah, definitely. So, in my opinion, alignment is all about the feeling, and the feeling is different for everybody. So for me, not being in alignment means that I feel stress. I'm, moodier. Trying to think of a nice way to say it. I'm moodier.
Okay.
I get very anxious, or I get this like feeling in like the pit of my stomach, like, ugh, I just don't want to do it,
Mhm.
and that tells me that is not something that I should be doing.
Yeah.
Now, on the opposite end of that, things that are in alignment for me, these are things that make me feel happy and calm and excited to take part of. Now, of course, there's always going to be aspects of your business that you don't like. Like for me, I hate setting up the structure of my blog post, love writing it, hate setting it up, right? And so that is something that you can find ways around. You can create templates. You can hire somebody else to do it for you. So you can still do the part that you love and maybe outsource the part that you don't love. And I think that's really what alignment is. It's, do you love it or do you not love it? Does it give you joy?
Like love it, but then outpost the things that you don't like.
Yeah, like the little
Exactly.
tedious work. The tedious
Exactly.
stuff.
Or right, exactly. Or find ways to enjoy it. So like I don't like doing the dishes, right? But if I watch like a YouTube video or listen to a podcast or something like that while I'm doing the dishes, then it's okay. And the time goes by fast, you know, and it's like,
That's
oh, okay,
very true.
it's been an hour and now all the dishes are done, you
That's
know?
true.
That is so true. Because I know that there's times where I just don't want to make the tablets. Like I'm just like,
Yeah.
but I'll put a movie on, and then I just got to get myself in the mindset of like, okay, if I just get to A to B, and I'll be done within like 20 minutes. Let's just do this, right? So,
Yeah.
and that was the other thing that I wanted to ask you about too is, how important do you think mindset is with being in line with the business and having different types of mindsets?
So having a positive mindset, and I'm not talking about like toxic positivity where, you just, no matter how you feel, you're just like, I'm happy, I'm positive, let's go. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, if you have something going on, working through that or reframing it, telling yourself, instead of saying, oh, I'm not good at math, being like, there are aspects of math that I could improve on, or while I could improve on this aspect of math, I'm exceptional at accounting or something like that, reframing that to where it's not negative.
Sure.
I think having that positive mindset is crucial to being successful in business. And you can look at that with some really famous people like Jim Carrey. He wrote himself a check. I can't remember the amount now, but he wrote himself
I
a
remember
check.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the amount of the check was the amount that he ended up making from one of his movies. And he knew, even though he was told time and time again that basically he was a terrible actor and all of this. And and Lady Gaga, she kept telling herself that she was going to be a success, not that she was going to be a success, that she was a success, and she was a good singer. And look at how big she is. Walt Disney.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of celebrities that like now what they that you see now that are coming back from the past, from like the 90s interviews from like Oprah, like Jim Carrey. And even Jennifer Aniston will talk about mindset and manifesting what you want. And even gosh, what is that Hart, the comedian?
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart, yeah, he even talks about manifesting and bringing to life your desires.
Yeah.
And they say that's how they get where they are. And I love manifesting. Like I love the topic of manifesting.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
But the thing, I love it. But yeah, but it's interesting how they used the technique to get to where they are. But I just want to go like one step further into the EFT tapping. So let's kind of go into how all of this is rolled together.
Absolutely.
The sauce.
So one of the ways that yes, exactly. So one of the ways that you can help your mindset, which in turn will help your business and your life and all of the things, is by using EFT tapping. So EFT stands for emotional freedom technique. And basically, for those of you who don't know, it is a way for you to release any of the negative emotions or anxiety or even physical pain that's hampering you from feeling and doing your best. And what you do, just like it says, EFT tapping, you tap on certain points on your body. And these points are called meridian points. And this taps into a little bit of Chinese medicine, where they say that you have meridian points in your body, or excuse me, meridian lines in your body. You have 12 of them, and then you can tap on certain points that access those meridian lines. And you can look at it at a scientific level as well. Those meridian lines actually can connect with certain nerves and blood vessels and things like that. And then also, whenever you're saying positive phrases, which is something that you use in EFT, then that can create new neural pathways in your mind, and that in itself can help you. So I mean, and I could go on and on about all of the things and how it works. I mean, it is just super powerful. And so do you guys want me to go ahead and do a EFT
I was just about to ask
session?
that, because the
Yeah,
reason why Jen and I are so like, oh my gosh, hurry up, EFT, is because I've heard about it before, and I know Jen says she's been doing it since the 90s, and I've heard of it before. I'm also a Reiki master, and I've heard of it, but I've never used it in my practice, because I never really knew exactly what it was. But now we're getting into the depth of what it actually is. I am very, very interested, because it sounds like it's very close to acupuncture, right?
Yeah.
Just without the needles.
Yes.
Okay.
It's interesting because when I would fly, even to this day when I fly, because I do not like to fly, I will sit there and I will tap like right here. And like I remember my Dr. Jennings
Like your forehead.
people don't even know what you're doing, John. Just sit there and just tap here. And then you don't have to say it out loud. You could say it mentally. And so I used to do, even though I'm scared out of my mind of flying, I choose to remain calm and peaceful during the flight. And I would just do it over and over and over until I was like on a lower end of the, I don't want to say scale, but number, instead of being like at 100, I was
Right.
further
You went
down.
lower. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, I don't want to
Good.
scared. But yes, Monica, let's hear it. I love EFT, so let's hear.
Yeah.
So I'm going to first walk you through the structure, and then we'll go ahead and do one. And how does doing one about money sound? Like money and business.
Okay.
Sounds
Girl.
good?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Okay.
So EFT tapping is very, like, just you don't have to go by a specific structure. It's great if you do, but it's very relaxed, unlike its counterpart, which is called TFT. So unlike that, this one, if you miss a point, oh well. If you don't say the exact same thing I do, oh well. You can do it in a way that works for you, and then if you mess up, no big deal, because you're not really messing up, because you're still hitting meridian points, even if they're out of order, even if you miss one, it's not a big deal. Now, as a suggestion, there are 9 points that you can tap on. You don't have to do all 9. I like to skip one, and I'll show you which one I like to skip. But and then anytime you tap, you're gonna tap 6 to 10 times. But like I said, if you end up doing 4 times, and then the next time you do 12, oh well, it's okay. And keep in mind that everybody does EFT a little differently and in their wording. So speaking of wording, so every time you tap, you're going to say either out loud or internally a phrase about your situation. So usually the phrase starts off with even though or although I feel, and then whatever emotion you feel. And then sometimes you can say something like how Jen said, I choose to, and then feel a different way. Or you can say, love and accept myself. Or you can completely reframe it or provide something positive, which is, I like to do a mix of all of that. So you'll see. So basically tap on the points and then repeat what I say. And I might say universe, but remember this could be God, universe, source, whatever you believe in.
Mm-hmm.
And the points are the top of the head, right here by the the eyebrows, the temples, underneath the eye, right here above your top lip, then under your bottom lip, the collarbone, and this is the one I don't like, underneath the arm. So that one I usually skip. The wrist right here, I usually do this. And then the karate chop point right here. Okay, so those are the 9 points.
When you do it. That one even hurts when you tap on it.
This one?
Yeah. When you're doing that.
It doesn't hurt on my side.
Yeah. I got some EFT leaving to do.
All right, let's go ahead and let's get started. So I want you guys to let's take a nice calming breath. Okay, now on a scale from 0 to 10, think about that emotion. So the emotion that I'm going to talk about is stress, overwhelm, anxiety about money and business. Okay, so on a scale 0 to 10, think about where you are on that scale. All right, and so now we'll go ahead and start tapping here and either repeat out loud or in your head. Even though I feel stressed about money and finances in my business, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I sometimes feel overwhelmed when I think about how money is going to come in, I choose to feel relaxed and calm and trust the process. All right, now we're going to start moving down through the body, okay? Even though I sometimes wonder how I'm going to pay my bills, I know that I always have things taken care of. If I look at my past, I can see where I was stressed before about money and money came in. Even though I sometimes feel anxious about money and bills and my business, I know that the universe always provides. And I know that I am part of the universe, part of source, as we all are connected through energy. And so therefore, I am part of the divine, and I have access to the unlimited source of money in abundance. Even though thinking about what I should do next in my business and how I'm going to bring in clients or get sales can sometimes overwhelm me, I know that once I have a plan and am consistent, money will come to me, especially if I am aligned with what I feel I should do and listen to the guidance of the universe. Even though sometimes I worry if I'm doing the right things to bring in money and that I'm helping enough people. I know that what I do is valuable and can help a lot of people. And therefore, I know as one of the laws of attraction, one of the laws of the universe is that I should be compensated for what I put out there in the world. And even though sometimes looking at my bank account makes me worried, I know that it's all going to work out because it always does and it always will. And I have faith in the universe. I have faith in God. I know that no matter what comes at me, I can handle it. I am strong. I am worthy. I am abundant. So even though I have sometimes felt stressed and overwhelmed and anxious about money and finances in the past, I know that because I am worthy and abundant and good at what I do, that the money will come, and the money has come, and it will continue to come because that is what it does. So even though I sometimes feel stressed and anxious about money in my business, I deeply and completely love and accept myself, and I choose to feel calm and the knowing that it will all work out. Okay, so then I like to just go ahead and take another deep breath and then evaluate where you are in that on that 0 to 10 scale after you've done all of that. So if you are not at like a 0 to 2, then probably keep going and keep doing it, but using your own phrases that will make you feel better. And then there are some key phrases that I use a lot, and you've probably heard me say a couple of them repeatedly. And it's because for me, those really work to calm everything down. So if you find phrases you like, use them over and over.
I find
How was that for you guys?
Oh, I started yawning at a certain point.
That's a good sign.
Yeah. Like I was like, yeah, I was yawning. I couldn't believe it. I was like, holy cow, I just feel so relaxed.
Yeah, me too.
Good.
I feel
Good.
Immediately when we started, I started feeling a change. I don't know if it's because of my consciousness. I'm aware that I was tapping, but I started feeling like a calmness and like everything is gonna be okay. And now I feel very cool, calm.
Good.
Yeah. Those points work. They do.
They really do.
They
Yeah.
really do. The tapping and the constant, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I remember when I used to
Implemented.
do it when I was pregnant and in labor.
Really? And it helped calm you down?
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
there's a tapping point by the uterus
Wow.
that even like when I was trying to get pregnant,
Yeah.
my holistic doctor showed me.
Okay, so I need to know that tapping point.
It's like right
I don't know that
below.
one. I definitely need that one. I've been trying for like 5 years. So.
Aw.
Oh.
It's like right, like 2 fingers below your belly button. And so.
Oh yeah, I have. Yeah, I know that one. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I just hadn't never thought about. I've pressed on it, but I've never thought about using it for tapping.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. So.
I should do that.
Yeah.
I want to mention something that you had mentioned, Jen, about just when you're like in the airplane and you just kind of tap right here. So sometimes if you're not in a place where you can like go through the full gamut of tapping everywhere, just tapping like here or here, just a little place that you can tap, it does help. It may not have the same full effect if you're able, like you are when you're able to do all 9 spots, but it does still help. So any little bit. So if you're starting to feel, any kind of negative emotion or anxiety or anything like that, go ahead and do what you can.
Yeah, it's either that point, or it's like under my nose, that point. Because there was one time, a friend of mine, she was like, "Do you have something under your nose? Do you have like a scratch or something? Is that why you keep going over there?" And I'm like, "No, no, I just kind of itch a little. It's just a little bit, but in my mind, I'm just like,
You're
tapping it
tapping.
there, or I'm like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, um."
It's a
So
very good
yeah,
technique.
it's a very, very good technique. There's a lady on Facebook, her name's Nellie, I believe. She lives in Hawaii, and her whole entire business is based on EFT.
Wow.
She has so many
Yeah,
different other points, and in her group, I'll have to tag you in her group, because
definitely.
oh, that's what it was, Sheena. All those EFT tappings that I sent you, which was like money abundance, emotions, and
Yeah.
I sent you like 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah.
She goes
Did you email
through,
it to me?
and
I think you emailed it.
I sent it to you through Messenger, the last podcast that we had. But
Okay.
but she, she also gives you the dialogue that she uses too. So,
Okay.
yeah, but
That's cool.
she was in like, I think she was like a family therapist. That's what she was. She was, working as a family therapist for a lot of years. And then she ended up she manifested herself to Hawaii, where her and her husband have always been. She doesn't have children. Her animals are her children. So she has like goats and lambs and chickens. And so
Oh, cool.
I'll have to tag you on her, in her group, so you can
Her
see
group.
her, see what she does.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would like to
definitely.
I want to see what she does. Very interested in that. It's very intriguing. It's different. It really is. I like it. So, okay, so I wanted to ask a question, Monica. You mentioned the TFT. What's that?
So TFT was actually where EFT was born. So back in actually, I think like the 70s. I don't remember the name of the guy who came up with it. But the name TFT actually stands for, I have it in my notes somewhere. TFT, I believe, is thought. It's either thought or thought thinking freedom technique. So it's very similar. So thought freedom technique. And with that, you still tap on the meridian points and you say specific phrases, but they're very strict on how you tap, how often, what sequence you go in, and then it's all based on like categories. So if you're wanting to say get rid of like back pain, then you're going to do one sequence of tapping in one sequence of meridian points and say these certain phrases. But if you want to get rid of anxiety, then that can be another set. Or, I mean, they may have some of the same, but the structure is going to be slightly different. And that's when they developed EFT. They're like, we don't like all this structure stuff. Let's see if it'll work without being so rigid in that. And both are effective, both work. They're just different modalities.
Okay. All right. Cool. Interesting. I'm gonna do some more research on the TFT as opposed to the EFT.
Definitely.
Yeah, that is very, very interesting.
And I couldn't find it, the name of it, when I tried to look it up earlier, but there is another version it's something to do with like rapid transformations. So with a lot of, in my opinion, with EFT, usually you have to do it for a while for you to make a big impact on really big things. So if you've had chronic back pain for, 50 years, then regular EFT in one session isn't going to get rid of it forever. It may relieve the pain for that day or for the next week, but forever, you're going to have to do more than one session, which is totally fine. And usually they say about 6 hours worth of EFT can get rid of a chronic condition like that.
Okay.
Of course, it depends on the condition, but there is a method of tapping that it only takes one session. And so that's all going to be about the things that you say and also the points that you tap on. So it's going to probably be a little bit more geared towards the TFT, but there is one that's out there that it definitely does work. And so it's something to do with rapid is in the name, I believe, but I couldn't find it. I looked everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah, I want to get trained in that because I'm trained in regular EFT tapping, but I want to get trained in the rapid so I can be like, okay, you've been depressed for years. Okay, let's do this tapping session. Boom, gone. I mean, how
That's
amazing
right.
would that be?
And
That
that's
would be
right. Yeah.
amazing.
That would be great for your clients, they'll enjoy that.
What,
Yeah.
and it's
Absolutely.
rapid EFT?
Yeah, it has something to do with rapid. I talked to a woman a while back ago who she was trained in it, and she was talking to me about it, and I wish I could remember who it was so I could like look it up what the name was. But she wasn't the only person that I've talked to that has done that. So, and it may not be rapid, but in my head, that's what it said. That's what it's telling me it is.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Isn't that interesting?
But if I find it, I'll tag you guys in it, or I'll send you a message.
Like even on like YouTube, they have rapid tapping for better sleep, anxiety, blockage, stress and cortisol levels. Poppy.
Yeah, but I wasn't sure if that was actually like them just saying it's like really fast or it actually being the rapid tapping technique.
Poppy Del Bridge.
I saw her video, but it was just like a regular tapping session. She didn't like talk about it.
She didn't talk about it. Oh, okay. I see she has Instagram. Okay. Yeah, I see her.
So is EFT like is it Japanese Chinese medicine? Is it Chinese medicine? Its
So
origin?
it uses a little bit of Chinese medicine, but also psychology and like what more Western medicine as well. So
Okay.
the more technical part, so the Chinese medicine part of it is the belief that there are meridian points that you can tap into, and that basically when you do that, it will allow the flow of your chi or your prana or whatever you want to call it to really flow. Yeah,
right.
so that's the aspect of EFT that's more of the Chinese medicine.
Right.
But
Okay.
Yeah. But there's also all of those more Western ideas of it as well. And there's been hundreds of studies, especially here recently in the last few years, about the effectiveness of it.
Yeah, because more and more people are being introduced to it, and they're asking more questions, and then it's forcing them to do more studies to find out. Because I'm pretty sure people who've had, like you said, chronic illnesses probably tried the rapid one, and then they got relieved of that, and they're like, hey, I tried this tapping thing and it worked. And they're like, oh, really? Well, we need to go and do some research or some studies on it to see how it's so effective,
Right.
Right. Exactly.
The more people that's exposed to it, it creates more studies, more, because they have more questions.
Definitely.
They have different things happening, different scenarios, different outcomes. Somebody could probably have cancer and they did it and the cancer is gone. They're like, whoa, it's a miracle. You know?
No, it's EFT.
Yeah, I'm sure it's possible for you
Yeah.
know.
Right. So where are you, if somebody wanted to get a hold of you and wants, to do like a call or a consultation, how would somebody be able to get a hold of you in order to set up an appointment?
Absolutely. So they can actually email me directly at contact@busylifehealthywife.com.
Okay.
So they can do that, or they can check out my website, which is same thing as my email handle, just busylifehealthywife.com.
Okay. And you're also on Instagram?
I am on Instagram.
Okay.
Same name on there, Busy Life Healthy Wife. Just look me up and I'll be there. You'll see my face and all of my photos and
Okay.
all that.
Well, I'm gonna add you, Monica. Sorry, Janet, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Okay.
I'm gonna add you, Monica, on Facebook, and
Definitely.
send me your information, because I'm gonna, when I edit the video, I'm gonna put it all in there so people see it, and then in the description, I'll also put it in there so they can click on the link, go straight to your work.
Okay, awesome. Sounds good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
That would
so
be, oh my God, awesome.
awesome. Yeah. And you're also on Facebook and TikTok, right?
Or TikTok too?
I don't do, yes, I don't post a whole lot on my Facebook business page, but I do on my personal and in my group, which is Holistic Female Entrepreneurs.
Okay.
There's a subtitle as well, but if you type that in, you'll find it.
Okay.
And then on TikTok, and I post a decent amount of TikTok videos as well.
Wonderful.
Okay, awesome. We have a group as well on Facebook called, it's this name of the podcast, Going Within with Sheena and Jen. And feel free to join us there and post your links to your stuff. You have permission to do that, to promote your business and introduce yourself. Okay? No problem.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Well, thank you so much, Monica. Sheena, do you have any other questions for her?
I probably do, but I have to like dig more into EFT. Maybe we could do another session, another podcast where we can go deeper into it, because I would really like to go deeper into the subject, because I know there's a lot of studies out there now, like you said, so we can probably look up some and get familiar with them, and then so we can ask you more questions. But as far as that right now,
this could be like introduction.
Introduction, yeah, definitely introduction.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so that we can we'll dive into it some more another time, because I'm sure the viewers who's gonna see this might have questions as well that we didn't ask, and we want to give Monica the opportunity to come back, if you don't mind, and we can go like more in depth into the subjects, and that'll be awesome.
Since I'm just gonna piggyback this off of you guys, but I've also heard, since you both are Reiki masters, I've also heard that when Reiki is performed, so is the EFT, the sayings, dialogue, like even though if if when you ask your patients or your clients, how are you feeling today? What are your symptoms? What is this or what is that? And then like I've heard that you can like put your hand on certain parts of their body and do the dialogue either out loud or
I can see that. I can see
mind, and it helps flow more of that energy. Exactly.
Yeah. I can see how we can implement that in Reiki. Definitely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm going to implement it.
Me too.
I'm going to learn. That's why I'm so interested in it, because I would love to implement it in my practice. And, some clients, the Reiki always works, but, some clients have a lot more baggage, and Monica, firsthand than
Yes.
others. So it's a little bit harder for them to unblock. And I feel like the EFT really can help. It sounds like something that would really help. Feels like something that would really help.
I think so too.
Yeah, it'll help give them that boost to release, because some people hold on to, their trauma so tightly that it can be a real challenge for them to, release that chi again flowing in their chakras. And I feel like the
Yes.
EFT, based on what we just did, so I felt, really
Right.
calm
Yeah.
afterwards. Even though I was acting a little silly with it too, but it still felt calm. I was just like,
I was yawning. I was like, that's so
yeah.
nice.
Actually, I did a tapping video that I posted on YouTube, and I mentioned the fact that the time that I had done that before, I was yawning. So it's funny that you mentioned that. And I
Yes.
rewatched my video to see exactly what I said, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. We're in sync, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, exactly.
Monica,
Yeah.
Monica, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you? How young rather?
So
Because
I'm actually 32.
nuh-uh.
Yep.
Really?
Born in 1990.
You
Yep.
you look and sound like a 20-year-old.
Mhm, mhm.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a
I can see
compliment.
the
Trust
bags under
me.
my eyes, the crow's feet.
Yeah, right. You sound so
Aw.
I
innocent
can.
and yeah, that's awesome.
Mhm. Yep. Young at heart.
Young at heart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Mhm,
That's
I
good.
I I really am.
Right. And I
mhm.
think people tell me that too, but I think it's like maybe it's your spirit, when you're young at heart, like
Oh
you
yeah,
said.
maybe.
It keeps you young, looking young, I guess, and feeling young and looking young, and
Mhm.
it kind of gives
Yeah.
you
We,
a
I
young
don't,
glow.
Sheena and I did a cacao retreat.
Oh yes, that was so
Ooh,
good.
That
fun.
was my very
That
first time. Was that your
yeah,
first time?
it was my first time.
Oh my gosh, we
Not
cried.
with cacao. Well, she called it cacao. Where I'm from in the Caribbean, we call it taco. So it's like I was
Oh,
like, well, we drink this back home, but then she was like, no, well, yeah, you guys have an abundance of it. Lucky you. But she was like, it can be used for rituals and ceremonies to bring you closer to yourself, and
It's pretty
go
amazing.
within. And
Do
and it
you do
was
that in your practice, Monica? Have you ever done
so
that?
I haven't ever. Well, I've done it for myself, but I haven't done it like as part of a group, or I don't really offer that because a lot of my stuff is not face to face. So they would have to have all of that with them already.
Okay, okay.
okay.
Now I do want to ask you a really a brief question though.
Yeah.
When it comes to your business and the techniques that you use, is it less stressful for you as you take
To
on your
use
daily activities as content, emails, um, classes, courses, or however you want to say?
So yes, like if I use the different techniques like on myself, then it does help, but I don't always do it because I'm like, I gotta do all the things and get everything done. And, and then also when I use them with my clients or as part of a course or workshop or something like that, like
Mhm,
it makes me like any anxiety that I had about, oh, I'm doing this thing, I'm doing this video, I'm doing this workshop, or, these people are going to listen to what I say or look at me a certain way. Once I incorporate some of these other modalities,
mhm,
that stress level and that anxiety goes down so much.
mhm,
So I'm an introvert. So
Mhm.
anytime I talk to anybody I don't really know,
Right.
or there's a potential of that, I always get a little bit anxious. But
Sure.
Mhm.
like even in this podcast, like, well, one, you guys are great, so of course it's gonna make it
Oh.
easier, you know. Um,
Oh, thank you.
but also because I knew that I was talking about something that I really like, and then I was able to do the EFT tapping session, it just like helped calm me down and make me feel a lot better.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we are just so grateful and
We are,
thankful
yes.
that you were able and willing to come on here and do the introduction of EF
Yeah.
tapping into your spiritual.
Introduction. That's right. Great word.
Yeah,
Introduction. Because
yeah,
we will see you again. We want you back
yes,
again.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely,
Thank you.
We
Thank you.
want to know a little
absolutely.
more. Yeah. Yeah. We want
Yeah,
to know a little
that's the
bit
thing
more.
about Sheena and I. We just like digging. We like to
Yeah. We
dig.
like digging, digging.
Yeah,
Me too. Me too.
but
I'm right there with you guys.
surface
Yes.
is no good, but we just like to keep on digging until we go,
It's
huh?
just that time is of the essence, and we have to be respectful of everybody's time. It's 10
Right.
o'clock where we at. It's probably 9 where
Mhm.
you're at. I think you're an hour behind. Um,
Yeah, it is.
guys, what about time? Time has just been just
Good.
flying
I
by.
just said that to my friend the other day. Like it
Oh
was
my.
like I like a blink of an eye. It's like end November.
Yes,
Something's up.
Hmm.
Something,
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I
something.
think our perception of time is changing. So
You know
it
what I
seems like
think?
it's speeding up, but
I just think I'm in a dream. You know that saying,
you
like
are.
life is nothing but a dream.
Yes. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Really,
Yes.
life is but a
maybe.
dream. But it
Yeah.
is fast. It's going way now. I have to say that when I was growing up, they always say to me, "Why when you have time, everything just goes by faster." But this is extreme. Like this was not
Right.
what I was anticipating at all.
Right. Like people
So
would tell you, yeah, it's because you're older now. And no, I've been older for a long time.
yeah.
And now it's getting faster. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I just sat down to work. Now we're done with
Definitely.
Right.
it. Oh my
And then
goodness.
the whole daylight saving time thing doesn't help because it gets darker
Mhm.
earlier now. So it's like, oh, it's time to go to bed as soon as
Oh, I
it gets dark.
know.
It takes some
Yeah,
time for my body
I
to
wish we would
adjust.
just do away with it.
I
Yeah,
know. So
I really don't
Yeah.
understand the whole. Well, somebody was saying I don't know if it was Sheena or somebody was telling me that the reason why they were doing it, no, it was a friend of mine, Wanda. She was telling me that the reason how it became was for the farmers to
I've
do.
heard that
Hmm.
too.
So, but nowadays, the way they get their stuff done so fast these days with all
Yeah, the
the
farmers and
equipment.
their almanac. Remember the
Yeah,
farmers use the
yeah,
almanac?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Well, Monica, I appreciate you
Yeah.
coming up here and enjoy listening to you. It's so amazing. And I can't wait to have you back on again to dig a little
Yes.
bit deeper
Yes.
into the magnificent energy tapping
Mhm.
that we're talking about.
Oh, and also next time maybe you can go more into the business marketing because Jen and I are really into
Absolutely.
learning more about marketing, right, Jen? Marketing. We need to brush up
I'm
on our
always
marketing
learning about
skills.
marketing. I'm always
Yeah.
learning about marketing.
Yes.
Yeah. She
Mm-hmm.
makes it so simple though, Sheena, because I could be like,
Yes,
Oh,
I
I
thank
could
believe
tell
you.
you,
That's why I wanted to come back because
yeah,
she knows what she's talking about. So yeah,
yep,
come and coach
Well,
us.
thank you guys. Thank you
yes,
guys so much for having me. It was a blast, and I can't wait to come back and dig a little deeper
yeah,
and
Yeah.
everything. So definitely, thank you.
well,
Thank you
wonderful.
for joining us. Thank you for coming on the podcast. We are so grateful for you and thankful for your time. Namaste, namaste.
Namaste. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Namaste.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we're wrapping it up now. Thank you, viewers who are watching for this episode with Monica, our EFT Reiki master specialist, all of the above. Zen coach. We're so thankful to having her, and thank you guys for watching. And we'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.
All right, bye. Let me stop it.